Welcome to my final project presentation for EdTech 629. I'm Sara K. I'm a 4th and 5th grade multi-age teacher. I work for Otsego Public Schools and I've been there for 3 years. I teach all subject areas except for social studies. Part of the multi-age program is that we take all the 4th and 5th grade students and we split them up based on their ability. So we have one class of high readers, one class of mid readers, and one class of low readers. And then we have a class of high math kids, mid math kids, and low math kids. So my English Language Arts class consists of all the highest readers and writers. I found that it's difficult to challenge my students. A lot of the books that are at their high reading level, the content isn't appropriate for their age. So one way that I found to challenge my students is to use online instruction. And I've used a little bit here and there before, but I've never utilized a discussion board. So I thought using Edmodo would be a good thing for these students, and then using other programs to show their learning would be a great way to challenge them and for them to receive some different instruction. I think that this project will be good because my students are motivated and they're eager to do a really nice job. So I think that they want to please, and I think that this will really challenge them as well. Another big push in our district is for writing, and so this is another great way for them to get excited about their writing and get them motivated to do a good job in their writing as well as reading. Some steps that I've taken for this project. The first one was to figure out which website I wanted to use. I do utilize a Weebly in my classroom, and that's more for communication, homework help. I post videos on there. I put homework up, but there's no discussion board. And so we've talked about in class what we're looking for out of a website and what we would like, and so I've looked at Moodle, I've looked at KidBlog, and I've piloted KidBlog with my kids, and I've also piloted Edmodo, and I found that Edmodo is probably the best one for my class. So this is an example of our Edmodo site. We started using it back in November, the beginning of November, and we're discussing the book Shiloh right now. I'm just kind of wanting them to get a basic overview of Edmodo and how to use it, just so they get the basics before starting this more in-depth project. So the next step was determining the best content to teach through Edmodo. One of our units for writing is mystery, and so I thought that it would be good for me to tie in literature circle mysteries and do a genre study before actually doing the genre writing of a mystery. And then finally just organizing my literature circle groups and figuring out which books I wanted to read and figuring out what technology I wanted to use. The actual project integrates reading, writing, and technology. Students start off by reading a mystery in their literature circle groups, and they discuss the features of the story through Edmodo. So as the teacher, I'll start the kids off giving them discussion questions to answer, and then eventually I'll give them the reins and they'll be coming up with their own discussion questions for their group. After doing the reading, students will start to apply what they've learned and write a mystery. We utilize the program Write Steps for our writing curriculum, and so that has an entire unit on writing a mystery. So the students are going to use that unit to help them write their mystery. Finally, the students are going to publish their writing using the program of their choice. I'm going to give them about 4 or 5 programs to choose from where they're going to create a presentation for their story. They can use Photo Story. They can create a movie maker, they can create an iMovie, they can create a Prezi, they can create a PowerPoint. I'm going to use Edmodo for that as well. I'm going to put them in groups based on which program they decide to use, and then they can help each other out and discuss their problems and figure out how to best use the program. I'm also going to have videos for them to watch, little tutorials, and as the teacher, I'm going to circulate around the room, obviously, and meet with each group every day. So, in the future, I see Edmodo being used in all subject areas. Having students discuss science questions. I teach all the science for the 4th and 5th graders, so I think Edmodo would be a great way for students from other classes to connect their science understanding. They can also investigate things at home, give them challenge problems. Hey, try this at home. Let me see what you came up with. And then report back and see what other people are doing. Another thing is to have students present using the same programs that we learned about today. So maybe they're explaining a math problem that they don't understand using a program, just to get them excited and just to have a different way of doing things. I think will freshen up the classroom, and I think a lot of kids will really enjoy it. What I've learned from this is using technology effectively, it takes a lot more planning and organization. Instead of thinking that you're going to tell your class something, you actually have to give them the step-by-step as if they've never heard it before. Also, how to manage a discussion board, making sure to keep it simple, not getting overwhelmed by all the gadgets, just taking one step at a time, focusing on one thing at a time. So, thank you for being a part of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.